And the sophomore out of Shelby had a tremendous season. He was Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Year. Meanwhile, Marcus Cox had to work his way back into the lineup. Didn't have a 1,000-yard season for his senior year. Came really close because he came into the game with I think with that 149 yards rushing, he went over the 1,000-yard mark for the season. He had 879 yards rushing coming into the game. So with that 143 yards and that one touchdown, Marcus Cox went over 1,000 yards for the season. The Mountaineers pounded Toledo on the ground, and it was still a close game. Back and forth the whole game, and Toledo's offense was balling. Quarterback Logan Woodside, 247 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Rockets. Running back Kareem Hunt had 120 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. And Cody Thompson, their wide receiver, had 99 yards receiving and a touchdown. So the game was back and forth. Appalachian State scored, Toledo scored. Appalachian State scored, Toledo scored. It was 28-28. Late in the fourth quarter when freshman kicker for the Mountaineers, Michael Rubino, connected on a 39-yard field goal with like 5 minutes left in the game. And I thought that Appalachian State had to score a touchdown to win that game, but the defense stepped up for the Mountaineers, limited Toledo to their field goal attempt to tie the game with 1 minute and 48 seconds left. But Jamison Vest missed a 30-yard field goal for the Rockets. Man, I think missing field goals is becoming contagious for kickers, man, on the professional level and on the collegiate level. It seems like kickers are missing field goals left and right, man. When I played football, it was rare that a kicker missed a 30-yard field goal. I'm not going to bash kickers, but I'm just going to say this. If you are a kicker, you got to make a 30-yard field goal, man. During practice, you don't practice tackling. You don't practice running routes. You don't practice running the ball. You're not a quarterback. All you do is practice kicking. If you practice kicking all practice, how can you miss a 30-yard kick? That's unacceptable, man. Jamison Vest, I'm not coming down on you, man. You're a young man. I understand this. I'm here to uplift you, but I'm just going to keep it all the way real with you. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. 100 times 10. I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you. You cannot, under any circumstances, unless it's a blizzard or a torrential rainstorm, miss a 30-yard field goal to tie the game. You're going to think about that for the rest of your life, man. Now, like Bob Marley's song says, redemption, you have a chance for redemption, but not this season. Your season is over. Toledo's season is over. The Appalachian State Mountaineers, winners of the 2016 Camellia Bowl, 31-28 over the Toledo Rockets. Congratulations to head coach Scott Satterfield. 10-win season for the second year in a row. Sun Belt Conference championship and a bowl win. Big things are going in Boone, North Carolina. Again, congratulations to the Appalachian State Mountaineers, man. Got a soft spot in my heart for the Mountaineers. My little brother, none other than Mr. In My Humble, Pierre Banks. He was a member of the three-peat national championship team for the Mountaineers when they were on the FCS level. So I went to so many games for Appalachian State when my brother Pierre played, so I have a soft spot for the Neers. Congratulations to the Mountaineers. Give them hell, Neers. And, they're going to be good for years to come, man. Appalachian State is a program that is on the rise. So, again, congratulations to Central. Even though they didn't win their bowl game, they had a really good season, finished out their season 9-3, and they won the MEAC championship. Congratulations to Appalachian State. Won their conference, won their bowl game, finished out the season at 10-3. Hey, man, I got to take a commercial break. This show is crazy. It's popping 10. That's Popping 10. Yeah, I spelled it for you. I'm going to take another sip, or better yet, a gulp, of my Crystal Geyser natural alpine spring water. We're going to be right back. Damian Banks here for Austin Davenport Construction. If you're a new homeowner, old homeowner, or whatever the case may be, if you need work done on your home, look no further than Austin Davenport Construction. Austin Davenport Construction offers services such as building and repairing foundations, brickwork, home repair, waterproofing. Whatever you need, chances are Austin Davenport Construction can hook you up. If you need backsplash in the kitchen, they got you. If you want to get the roof work done, they got you. If you want new tile in the kitchen, they got you. New tile in the bathroom, I'm pretty sure they can hook you up. So if you want to get your new home worked on, you want to get your old home worked on, whatever you need, Austin Davenport Construction has your back. To contact Austin Davenport Construction, call 919-697-6912 or 919-450-7517. Also, email austindavenport@gmail.com or go to the website austindavenport.com. Austin Davenport Construction. Get your home done right.
What you ain't heard?
Somebody done told you wrong, punk.
It's the All Things Sport Podcast with Damian Banks and Pierre Banks.
Latifah, party's right here.
On Spreaker Radio. We're back with more of the All Things Sport Podcast with Damian Banks and Pierre Banks on Spreaker Radio. Gentlemen, the floor is yours.
Welcome back to the All Things Sport Podcast, or ATS as I affectionately call it. I'm Damian Banks. You've been rocking with me. I appreciate it. Salute to you, man. Again, go to the website, banksboy.com. You can download this podcast, all the other old podcasts, and just anything that your sports media content that you want, get it from banksboy.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at sportsbydamian. Follow Pierre on Instagram and Twitter in_my_humble. Okay. Talked about hoops, talked about football. Two tremendous segments, if you ask me. And you're asking me. So yeah, two tremendous segments. Hope you've been enjoying the show so far. Have to wind it down. So this last segment, man, gotta give you what you want. I gotta give the people what they want. You know what this segment is. Bruh, for real? And this week on Bruh, for real, I'm going to delve into the world of professional boxing. And if you don't follow professional boxing, you may not know who Bernard Hopkins is. You know, he's not as popular as Floyd Mayweather or Oscar De La Hoya, or he wasn't as popular as Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield. But, you know, I follow boxing pretty closely. And Bernard Hopkins was always one of my favorite fighters. A wily, veteran who found a way to win. Carved out a multi-time world championship career. Bernard Hopkins is an eventual Hall of Famer. And, he's won championships at multiple weight classes. Bernard Hopkins, I love you, man. When I was young, Bernard Hopkins was known as the executioner. Would come out to the ring with a mask on, like an executioner's mask on, man. So I love Bernard Hopkins. He reminded me of a wrestler. He took the theatrical part, the intimidation part of boxing very seriously. And B-Hop has had a great career. 54 wins, 8 losses, 2 draws, 2 no contests. So, he has had a 25-month layoff, 2 years, over 2 years. Bernard Hopkins is 51 years old, has done great things in the sport of boxing. Bernard Hopkins beat Winky Wright. He beat Antonio Tarver. He beat Felix Trinidad, when a lot of people thought that Trinidad was unbeatable. He beat Oscar De La Hoya. Beat Kelly Pavlik, when Kelly Pavlik was known, when he was on the scene as a big-time hitter at the middleweight division. So Bernard Hopkins has taken out a lot of, top-notch competition. He is an eventual Hall of Famer, has a 28-year boxing career. But he was fighting for the first time in over 2 years over the weekend. Bruh, for real? You can't be 51 years old and not have fought for 2 years, Bernard Hopkins. Cut it out, man. What are you doing? I don't know your financial situation. I don't know if you need the money. I'm not completely sure. But, what are you doing, Bernard Hopkins? So you're 51 years old, and you take 2 years off in between fights. Bruh, for real? So what are you going to do when you come into the ring as a 51-year-old who hasn't fought in 2 years? I mean, you got 25, 26, 27-year-olds who haven't fought in 2 years are going to be rusty. Now, I know you have a wealth of experience being that you fought for 28 years. You've had a 28-year career. But you're 51 years old, man. You've been knocked around. You've taken your fair share of shots to the head. So you're fighting a light heavyweight over the weekend named Joe Smith. not your ordinary Joe. And in the 8th round of your bout, Joe Smith knocks you completely out of the ring. Not knocks you out. Joe Smith knocks you out of the ring, Bernard Hopkins. Bruh, for real? I don't even know who Joe Smith is. I know who Bernard Hopkins is. But you are going to go down as a Hall of Famer who was knocked out of the ring by Joe Smith. B-Hop, man, you shouldn't even have fought. You should have just retired, man. Bruh, for real? What are you doing? I got 3 words for you, B-Hop. Stop it now. Go ahead and retire, man. You got knocked completely out of the ring by some guy named Joe Smith. And if you don't know boxing, if you get knocked down in boxing, you got a 10 count to get up and you're knocked out. But if you get knocked out of the ring, you get a 20 count. Bernard Hopkins got knocked out of the ring and couldn't even get up on the 20 count. You're 51, bruh. Relax, chill. You've earned it. You're one of the greatest fighters ever in all weight classes. Relax, man. I want to remember you as the executioner. I don't want to remember you as the guy who got knocked out by some dude named Joe Smith that got knocked out of the ring. I don't want to remember you for that, man. You're the executioner. You're B-Hop. You're Bernard Hopkins, bruh. For real. What are you doing? When I saw the fight, man, I was just perplexed. I was taken aback. B-Hop, what are you doing? I saw you beat De La Hoya. I saw you beat Trinidad. I saw you outfox Kelly Pavlik, outfox Juan Pascal. And I just saw you get knocked out of the ring by some dude named Joe Smith. Come on, bro. For real? B-Hop. Man, God bless you, man. And a lot of times professional athletes, they don't know when to hang it up. Whether you play basketball, football, baseball, hockey, you got players who stay around too long. And I'm all for staying around until they stop paying you. Because if they're the organization, whatever team you play for, if they keep paying you, why would you retire? But boxing is different, man. Boxing, you get hit in the head. You get hit in the face. You get hit in the ribs. There's nobody there. You don't have any pads to protect you like in football or in hockey. If you get hit in the head, man, you get hit in the head. You're 51, Bernard Hopkins. You don't want to have early onset Alzheimer's, do you? Relax, bruh. Chill. And enjoy the fruits of your labor. Bruh, for real? Sit it down. Some dude named Joe Smith just knocked you out of the damn ring. Man, I don't want to see that. I'm a Bernard Hopkins fan. I don't want to see that anymore, man. B-Hop. 3 words. Stop it now. That's been my Bruh For Real segment for this week's edition of the All Things Sport Podcast. And this is the end of this particular episode of ATS. Thank you so much for listening, man. Thank you for all the support. Last week's episode, I got a lot of new listeners, man, because I had a lot more views than a lot more listens than I did on the previous episode. So I thank you for your support, man. My fan base is growing. I feel so good, man. I'm like, Tony. It feels good. Yeah. All right, I had to break out in song for a second, but I digress. Man, this is the end of the All Things Sport episode. I'm your host, Damian Banks. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm probably going to take the rest of the year off. Next Sunday is Christmas, and then it's New Year's. I'm going to be back in 2017. I'm going to be so better than what I am now. I'm going to break in interviews in the new year. I'm going to bring on guests on the show. Got a lot of things set up for the All Things Sport Podcast. Keep rocking with me. Keep growing with me. I'm going to continue to give you the best of me, because I love you, man. Love is a two-way street. If you love me back, then we have a great relationship. So with that being said, you've listened to the All Things Sport Podcast. I'm Damian Banks. 2 words. I'm gone.